biggest concern for you was just in terms of following through with the scouting report, not, because Cal Baptist likes to get in transition, get those threes, not after the missed shots, have three people trying to get after the ball right away and leaving two people open on the other end.
Yes.
So was that, I guess when you went back and looked at the film, was that still your biggest takeaway from that game and the biggest, adjustment you want to make sure it gets right this time around?
Correct. Those are like small mental mistakes that you shouldn't have to really talk about, because you kind of go through those things throughout the season, different drills, different transition drills, and communicating. And that was just one of those things where we really talked about it in the scouting report, and it was like, okay, we're going to do the opposite now. And we really never had a team to really push it up on us like that before and hit open shots the way they did. And us just all of a sudden having two people, chasing the ball when we can easily have been one person, and then they just pass it to the open person, and they just pass to the open person. Now our rotations are all messed up. I think we're a little bit mentally stronger than that now. Because after that game, we came back and we got a couple wins on the road, I believe, and you could tell it was one of those things that we were just totally cold. We were just ice cold. And we were cold mentally, we were cold physically. We just played with our feet were in ice, stuck in ice that game. So we're gonna mention cold. We were just cold all the way around. We weren't thinking. Couldn't hit shots, easy shots. And it was on the video. It was shots where we were less than 15 feet. And Alexis couldn't even hit that. And those are shots that was like layups to her. And I think she was 6 for 28 that game or something like that. And she couldn't hit anything. And then you had, Vanessa Austin. She started off getting some offensive rebounds, and then that just went away. And then Ashley Austin went away, and it just became contagious from there. And it just was one of those games where, they scored 68 points, and they averaged more than that, and we could tell, our defense was still somewhat there, because when I look back at the video, the times that they faced our defense, they struggled badly. And so we just couldn't capitalize on the other end, missing our shots. We still got way more shots than they did, and they just made a whole lot of shots. And I think they made 12 threes that game. But we got out more shots than they did and got a lot of steal. We turned them over a lot of times. We just didn't make our shots. So we were in good position to be able to still win that game if we make our shots, even with the bad defense that we played that game. And they gave up 68 points, and I think they're averaging 79, close to 80. And so if we do what we're supposed to do this next game and not have those mental breakdowns where, and I know we won't, where two people going at the ball at the same time and all that, we're going to be fine.
Do you think it was one of those situations where one problem makes another worse, because since you're not hitting the shots, they're not inbounding it, you're not able to get into your press and set press?
Yeah, exactly. And so it was like you said, the snowball effect, and everything that you be talking about is cold. So from the ice to the icicles to our feet in ice to the snowball, and yeah, it was that cold. It was a cold game for us, and even the gym that night was cold. It was a cold night. It was heat wasn't. I don't know if the heat wasn't working or whatever, but it was just a cold night. But for them, they lit us up, and they probably, and the coach told us, he's like, this is one of the best games we've had so far this year, and it was against us.
Ashley Austin, obviously, you knew what she could do.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen a difference? And she had the 21 points, whatever it was, against UTRGV. Have you seen any difference in her, specifically last weekend, just in terms of consistency? I know consistency is what you strive for across the whole team, but
Correct.
It's probably harder for freshmen than
Definitely
senior, and harder when you know, you're playing a point guard spot sometimes, or, you know, you're running the plays, or you're supposed to be attacking and driving. You know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And, you know, with her, you know, man, we like you said, we knew what we were getting, and we knew that she could play. It's just a matter of her staying consistent. You know, that's tough for sometime as a freshman because the shots that you were hitting in this game, you got to have even a more intensity the next game to keep that hard, you know, that play up, you know, that momentum up. And that's the one thing that we trying to drive into her. Like, just because it happened easy for you, it felt like it was easy for you this game, it was just that you were so intense and you were into that moment. You got to get yourself back into that moment again. You got to get yourself back into that feeling again by playing harder even this game and getting yourself back into that moment, because it's hard to get back, you know, to get back into that zone sometimes, especially as a freshman. And so when they have a good one, sometimes they're thinking like it's, oh, this is easy. And no, it's not that easy. And so just